folks. We're out on Cave Run Lake this morning. It's July the 1st, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of boat traffic. It's a Saturday, 4th of July weekend, but we thought we'd come up real early, just getting daylight good, and get out here on Cave Run and see if we can't catch us a few crappie and whatever else we'll catch. But I appreciate you joining us, and tell your friends about our YouTube channel, and like us and subscribe, and also look for us on Facebook and Instagram. And like I said, thank you for joining here, Meet Us Outdoors. I'm gonna show you what I'm using today. I went over to Rural King, got this 10-foot slab daddy by Mr. Crappie, and it's got a Mr. Crappie open face reel on it, and I've tied me a loop knot so that my bait can hang horizontal. I've got an 1/8 ounce jig head with the orange and chartreuse crappie magnet, and I'll tip it with a crappie nibble or slab bite, you know, whatever, just something to give it a little extra. We'll see what we can do. One issue I find water this warm, let's say it's 80 degrees, is your nibbles don't last long, and if you ain't using the nibbles, you won't get as many bites as you do just regular, you know, jigging around with the crappie magnet. You need something to help it along, and you just gotta keep checking now and then, bite quits or whatever. See if your nibble's still there. Showing some fish, 16 to 18 feet. I'm at about 10 feet right now. They say crappie like to come from underneath, come up and hit whatever you got. I usually start a little bit high and then drop it down. My tarp turn. There we go. First one. Yeah, it's a little one, that's why I took my nibble. Oh well, little's still a crappie, and it's still fun to catch. Y'all see, that's a little boy.
He's just hatched this year.
First one. Toss him back. I don't know if you can hear it on there. Brendan's in the back of the boat here with me, and he's throwing a buzz bait or something, trying to see if a bass will hit. I caught that first crappie there. I was probably, I don't know, 13, 14 feet, something like that. I guess I hit the button on my trolling motor, took us off a spot lock. I've got the Minn Kota Tarova. It's got the spot lock, and it does great for crappie fishing. Kind of keeps you in the same general area. It don't keep you dead still in one spot, but it does pretty good. I recommend it to anybody that's going to do crappie fishing. seems like a better fish here. Yep, a lot nicer crappie. Look there, folks. That's a keeper there. That's what we're looking for. I'd like to get a whole boatload of them. That's probably 11 inches or something. Real pretty crappie, real wide. I believe we'll keep that one. See if we can catch another one. I was about 15 feet deep where I caught that one. We're gonna try it again. When you drop your jig down, if it just goes slack, Brendan's caught him a good bass here.
I didn't get it on footage.
Anyways, when you can show it to him there, Brendan, on the camera. You drop your line down and it just goes slack when you know you're not at the bottom. You better raise up and set the hook because crappie's caught it in the air. Here at Cave Run on the bass, they've got a slot limit that is 13 to 16.
Yep.
And I believe this is right in the slot, but I've caught the brush pile. But it's still a good bass there. Y'all can check it out, show it to them there. It looks like about a 13, 14 inch, probably. Brendan's gonna check it on the golden rule.
13 and a half.
13 and a half, so that's right in the slot. So he has to throw it back, but that's still a good fish. He was using a Ned rig here on Cave Run. We're in 21 feet of water now. Drop down about 15 feet.
On this rod in the net, it has a rattle in it. I don't know if you can hear it. On the end of it. Bass signal.
Showing fish about 16 feet, so 15 should be perfect. There was a hit. There we go. Another pretty decent little crappie. Check him out and see how big he is. If he's 9 inches or more, we'll keep him. Yep, that's a good 9-inch crappie. We'll hang on to him. It's our third crappie of the day. We hear that whirring, roaring sound. There was a bite. Missed him. If you hear that noise, that's a trolling motor trying to keep us in this same general area. Those two together, the hummingbird and he pulled my bait down. You can see a lot of times they'll grab it and pull your body down, the crappie magnet. But the hummingbird, Helix 7 and that Minn Kota Tarova, you just can't beat it. I mean, except for maybe a live scope or something. But I just don't see, in my opinion, paying that much for it. Who knows, one day on here may have one. Alrighty, let's go back out. Gotta re-bait it up. I use the length of my pole to measure how deep, a 10-foot pole. So I'll let it out to full length and then about half as much. There we go. I just barely got it down there. They're starting to bite a little bit. It's not a real big one, but still a crappie. Probably, I don't know, 8 inches or so. I quit flopping. Pretty little fish. We'll toss him back too. This spot here on Cave Run. Hold on, let me straighten you up. This spot we found last year, and over last year and this year both, I would say we've caught 200 crappie probably off this one brush pile. I mean, it's just stacked with crappie. And you'll find that sometimes. Sometimes they're spread out, and you know you have to search for them. But right here, they're in here pretty heavy, so we do pretty good on them. And I ain't worried about doing all that hiding pictures of the bank and stuff so people don't know where we're at. You know, if they come here and find it, good for them. There's plenty of crappie in this lake. So I had a good hit, but there actually is no size limit here. I don't know if I said that before, but you can keep any size crappie. Those little ones just don't have a big enough fillet for me to be able to cook. You know, if you was wanting to take them, raise them up a little bit, throw them in your farm pond, I guess you could. But I'd like at least a 9-inch crappie to eat. I'd like to have a lot of 12 inches, but you can, I think it's 20 per person and 40 per boat here on Cave Run. We've hit our limit a few times, you know, but sometimes it's tough. Got that one hit, say he took my nibble, he quit on it. Yep. Sure did. Show y'all again if somebody just watching. There's what I'm using, an orange and chartreuse crappie magnet, the red jig head, a loop knot. If y'all have any questions on anything, just comment. If you want to know how I tie my loop knot, you know, whatever, and I'll let you know. I hadn't had any bites in a few minutes, so I turned the camera off for a second and hooked a nice one. It's probably 11 inches or 12 maybe. It might be 12. Actually, we'll check it and see. $11 3/4. That's a good crappie. I'd like to have a boatload of them. That'd make a good meal. Pretty fish. Callie, my daughter, she went fishing with me on Lake of the Ozarks, and she started catching crappie really good. And she told me her secret. She's 7 years old. She uses 2 crappie nibbles and puts one on down between the split to hold the legs open and one out on the tip. And I thought, well, I'll try it, and it seems to work pretty good. So if you're losing a bite or something, double down on them if you want. Try it. If you don't want to go through that many, one works too. Got a pretty good crappie now. Caught it in the air, the line went slack, and thought I've got something. Look at that, that's a nice crappie. Beautiful fish, wide. I'm gonna pull down and show it to you. See there? Nice crappie. See what he measures. 11 3/4. Another one. That's a good size, good filleting size. We'll throw him in the live well. That's number 6 for us for the day. Sometimes they'll fool you. You think you got one and maybe been bumping a branch or something. But it must be, because I felt it again. I must be raking across it. Well, maybe not, because there he is. That's a nice one. I think he was grabbing it and letting go. Yeah, it fell into my pole. Come here, boy. Get down here and grab him. Come off right in the boat. Another nice crappie. Really nice, clean in size. See what he measures. 11 inch. I'm telling you, 11 inch crappie is a great fillet in size. Beautiful fish. I just love catching them. I can't get enough of that thump. Well, we moved to another spot. Just came across a brush pile just by accident, and it's got several crappie. I've caught 2 off of it, just making sure there was crappie here. One white crappie about 11 inches, the other one about 8 inches. Looks like there's fish all over it. There's one here. Small one. Probably a 6 incher. But still fun. You get him here. A small crappie. I'll let him go. Here we go. Seems like a good one. It's decent. Thumped it like a big one. He's probably an 8 inch or so. I'll probably throw him back. One thing that this trolling motor is great for too is if you have to tie on a hook, you lose the hook and stuff, you don't have to worry about your boat blowing into the bank or weights from other boats pushing you into the bank or anything. You're just sitting right here, tie on, go back to fishing. There's another one. Not a huge one, but still a crappie. Whenever you find a spot like this, brush pile, you need to mark it on your graph because when the water level changes, it looks completely different. But if you don't have, the stuff to mark it or whatever, just try your best to look up on the bank or across the lake or whatever and make you a point to just scan between and just drive across it till you find it. Here's one. Wrapped up on the end or something. Good. Nice crappie. Look at that. Probably a 11 incher. Hope y'all like my fishing hat. I got this down in Florida one year. He was going out on the ocean fishing. And rather than have my head burn up, I thought this works pretty good. I don't get no sun on my head. May get a little bit on my arms, but that'd be about it. We're back out here on the main lake. It's getting pretty crazy up around here. All the people on their runabouts and stuff, wakeboards and tubes. I'll be trying this out before we got out of here one last time. It's usually the best spot we have. Got him. Well, folks, I'd say that's going to be all for our video. Probably going to have to head out of here. This is getting crazy. The wakes is about to put water up on the boat here. But we thank you for joining us, and we hope to have more videos soon. Appreciate you liking and subscribing to our videos, and like us and subscribe or follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And we thank you. Thank you for joining Hit or Miss Outdoors.